I think I would tend to use a slightly different language about it, but I think it's the same thing. So I'll just say the language. So I think often what I would say is that in coaching, I generally say that people come either from their fears or their values. Um, and what I would say my coaching work does is help people calm down enough or disidentify with their fears enough so that they can come from their values rather than their fears. So, um, but I think it's the same thing, just with a slightly different language. So, for example, and maybe I'll give you an example of where I failed. So, or I fail every day. Um, I, I, I
Oh God,
I
is this going to
know.
become a game of truth or dare?
No. It's just a simple example, but like I know that I fail every day when I'm driving because if somebody cuts me off or something, I come from a place of fear and then it leads to anger, and I go, all sort of expletives that I can't say on a podcast. Um, and but actually, my values, my deepest value, I call humanity, which is belief in and care for other people and their capacity. And if I'm really thinking about other people when somebody cuts me off in traffic from that, I'm actually thinking maybe they didn't see me, or hey, they're probably doing their best. Some people find driving hard. Like maybe they're in a hurry. Maybe it's nothing to do with me. It's actually they're not thinking about me at all. Um, and so if I'm able to come from my values, a whole different set of possibilities comes out. I think also that is particularly the case in in workplaces where I'll give you one example where people might come from fear rather than values in the private equity setting. So um, there's a thing called an investment committee, which is the kind of decision making vehicle in many private equity firms, and people approach that with a lot of fear often. They're thinking, God, if I get this wrong, and I think, I'll never make partner. My ambitions in this career will never happen. And actually, it's very difficult to perform well if you're coming from that place of fear. But actually, if you're coming at it from a place of your values, and often people in private equity, obviously humans have many different value sets, but they often have values around curiosity and impact and um, excellence. And if they come at it from there, like, actually, I just want to be really, really well prepared because I love being really well prepared. It's a totally different mindset. It's a to and it's a totally different experience. And then just to bring it back to conflict, that same thing can happen with people. So um, I have a deep value of kind of community or connection. Um, and if I come to people from there, the possibility of that happening is so much higher than if I'm like afraid that, oh, this relationship's going to be messed up. People do it in romantic relationships as well. I mean, I know I don't want to go there because it's not really where I coach, but people definitely do it there as well. Um, and I think, I remember I've working at the very top level. It's funny. You might think this is a thing that people kind of naturally grow out of, but they don't, because you have to be very deliberate about this, in my experience, because the things that get you to the top of a lot of industries have nothing to do with the things that make you really good at working with other people. So I'll give you an example. In private equity, um, the things that make you get to kind of investment director level, which is the kind of levels before partner, sometimes it's called principal, they're about being a really detailed analyst of a business and really having insight into the figures, the data, the market, to make good decisions about it. And that's a great skill in that industry, and you probably can't get to the partner level without it. But when you become a partner, you have to be really good at convincing people to trust you. You have to be really good at managing and getting the best out of people below you. And you have to be really good at working with your other partners because, hey, you all have a financial stake in this thing succeeding. By definition, you've paid some money. So we've got to get on together to for this whole company to work. And those skills are different. And so you need to develop them, and you need to be active in just being deliberate about them. And I would say coming from a values place rather than a fears place. And it takes time, but it's very possible.
So yeah, I kind of get that. And then for me, you know, riffing off of that is you come from a values place, and then that affects the way you use language, because most people are just improvising in having conversations. And there is a skill and a mastery to the use of language and how we use it.